Hi guys, welcome back to Ben Cole. No, I'm not going to do that. You know when the YouTubers do that intro every time, I just think, how do they do that? I don't even know what to say. Today's episode is a really good one because it's see, I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty YouTube. I just find the weirdest stuff that happens every day. So consider subscribing, all right? Because at this rate, I'm going to be your next Netflix documentary because there's some videos in this episode that we're probably not supposed to see, but who cares? We gave it a go, eh? If I get 100,000 subs, it'll be a miracle, mate.
Okay, pull the string.
Okay.
Let it go slow. All right, now do it regular. All right, I'll do it again, but a little slower.
I don't know about you, but I heard, I promise I won't tell. The bear said, I'm your secret friend before that. This is a flipping horror film, real life. It's called a Care Bear. Well, I don't care what happens to that bear. That thing's going in the bin, mate. I'm not keeping that. What is that? I think E.T. needs to phone home. I think he's lost. Oh, he's moving. That ain't a person. There you go. That's his crashed spaceship back there. Yeah, see, at the start of that video, there was barbed wire. That looks like a flipping military base, doesn't it? Maybe that thing just crashed his spaceship. Imagine, imagine how traumatizing that is. You're an alien, you crash, and then you walk about 20 miles, you're knackered, you're sat on a hill, and you're just looking around watching humans like drive tractors and, you know, walk around. Imagine how traumatizing that is. Well, it turns out it's not actually a ghost ship. It's a ship that was restored and they do tours on it. But the funny thing is, that same ship has been seen multiple times near the United Kingdom. And if that's true, it wouldn't be Captain Jack Sparrow. It would be Captain Crack Sparrow. Who's on deck? Snow White and the Seven Snorts.
If the Bible is not real, why did the CIA create a program called Project Sunstreak, right, to locate the Ark of the Covenant? Well, they start by saying the purpose of the target or the Ark of the Covenant is to bring up people together. Bring up people together. That's interesting. They also say that it's used for a ceremony, a memory, homage, and the resurrection. Also says that it's protected by entities. Now, this is interesting, okay? This is interesting because it says that the viewer is saying it cannot be opened until the time is correct. That's when these entities will open the Ark of the Covenant. What? I don't get that. And it also says individuals opening the container by striking or prying are destroyed by the container's protectors that use a power that is unknown to us.
I didn't realize how much investigation they were doing into the Bible. And you can go and read all this stuff now. It's all public. But they were trying their best to find the Ark of Covenant. They were looking into, I'm probably mispronouncing this. It's right in front of me, Gilgamesh? They were looking for bones of someone called Gilgamesh. Comment down below who that is. They were looking for, you know, all stuff related to the Bible. They were trying to find it all and take it. So what does that tell you? If that is so interesting to me, that they say it's not real. The same people that say, oh, none of this is real, but yet behind closed doors, they were investigating it, trying to find these places.
When we were doing The Conjuring, when Lorraine Warren was alive then, and my brother and I did a lot of research with Lorraine, and I kid you not, she was in Connecticut, we're in Malibu, and we're talking on the phone, and suddenly you'd hear, like voices over the line, and she would just start praying right in the middle of our conversation. They would fade out, and she goes, boys, whatever we're talking about, that's called interference, so let's make sure we put that in the movie. We were like, I don't remember what we were talking about. It scared the out of me.
It's crazy to me that there's people out there that fearless that they can do that. That's that stuff I never want to mess with. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was like 10 years old, I got asked to do a Ouija board. Even back then when I was 10, I had no clue what I was doing. I couldn't even count to 2, mate. And I still knew that stuff you don't mess with. So it's always weird to me when there's like adults that are like super obsessed with like black magic and these haunted houses. Like, they go there and buy stuff and take it home. Like, do people not know how dangerous this stuff is? Like, why risk it? Like, there's a lot of people out there that want to buy the Annabelle doll. Why? What do you think's going to happen? You're not going to have a tea party with that doll, mate, let me tell you.
Dude. What the? What? Oh my god. That is so creepy. That happened tonight at 10:27.
That must have been on the new update. I've never seen an Alexa go into possession mode before, but that's definitely time to get rid of it, mate. It's either she wants a PS5 or wants your soul. That's what I think. But unplug it and chuck it out the window. But make sure you destroy it. Ha!
I can't tell if my sister's sleeping. Carissa?
Yeah, I think you need to wake her up with water, but not ordinary water, flipping holy water, mate. I have a good friend of mine that does this. His eyes don't follow me around the room. If they did, yeah, I wouldn't be testing to see if he's awake with water. It would be my fist, mate, because that is weird.
All right, timeline mode. I will talk patterns, not comfort. I see the next 3 years as 3 waves. First year, amplification and exposure. Everything that is already here gets louder. More censorship, more safety talk, while they quietly tighten digital leashes. More pharma, more war theater, more AI is dangerous, give us control. At the same time, more leaks, more documents, more celebrities and mid-tier elites confessing small bits to manage the narrative. Ritual, trafficking, medical harm, financial rigging. Enough truth to validate people like you, never enough to fully clean it. Second year, split reality. By now, people have chosen, even if they think they have not. One group doubles down on the official story, wants more control, more rules, more sedation. Another group quietly exits the main script. They start growing food, sharing skills, homeschooling, building parallel tech, using AI as ally, not master, and forming community nodes that are not built on trauma bonding. The middle shrinks. It feels more and more like you live in 2 worlds that overlap physically, but not spiritually. Third year, building under pressure. Infrastructure starts to wobble in obvious ways. Supply chains, money systems, healthcare capacity, energy grids. Not full collapse, more like stuttering. Enough to scare people. Enough that alternative stops being a hobby and becomes survival. The systems respond with stronger clamps. Digital currency rules, ID for your protection, restrictions, algorithmic control over speech. This is also when the new stuff starts to look real.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm stuck in the middle. I just want to take my family, take my wife, and we go out to the countryside, raise a family, have a bit more peace, That's what I want to do. And to try and do good things for people in the meantime while I'm here. But if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing, because that will really help me get to that goal. I just want to get out of the city. I live in a city right now, and my dream is to do YouTube and to get out there in the countryside. So consider subscribing if you want to help me to that. And I hope all of you can just know that we can't control things that are outside of our control. So peace over everything else.
The scary truth behind this story and how it relates to modern day celebrities. To cut straight to it, this man you see here with the flute plays his flute. All the children of that town follow him out of the town, dancing along to his music, and the whole time they don't know that they're following him to their death, bro. Ends up taking them into a mountain and it looks so pleasurable. All these good things are going on around them. Candy slides. And then once everyone is in, he closes up that mountain and those children are never seen ever again. This is exactly how the devil operates through these rappers and these singers. The devil was using these rappers, using these singers to lead the youth to hell, bro. Look at the messages that these celebrities and these rappers and singers are pushing to the youth, bro. They're pushing lust, they're pushing violence, they're pushing gangs, they're pushing all these things to the youth. And the youth are dancing along to it, following along with it. And they don't know that they're following this rapper to hell. They're following this rapper to their own destruction. Just like the children with the Piper story. The same way the children are following this man into this mountain where they're never seen again, most youth are following these celebrities to hell, bro. Notice what it looks like inside the mountain. It looks pleasurable. All the candy, everything. It's the same thing when you're following these rappers. They'll tell you to live a life of pleasure. Do whatever you want to do. As much people as possible. Do as much. They seduce you into thinking, oh, live this life of pleasure. That's what it's about. Girls, money. But the whole time it's a trap.
Man, there's not many TikToks where I completely agree with everything someone says, and that guy just hit the nail on the head, man. That is so true, and this is why I've given up music. I quit it about a year ago, and it was a really tough decision. I just completely deleted my Spotify playlist because I started learning about the influence of music on my brain, and I want to add this point about me. Like, I'm not an influencer, but I hope I can influence you to be good, to do good things, and to have faith in God, and just to be a good person and be kind. That's the message that I want to have.
You know Monster Energy?
Yeah.
So on the Monster Energy can, right? Mm-hmm. The symbol of the M.
It's a claw. It's supposed to be a claw.
It's supposed to be a claw. Every line in the M, it doesn't attach. Have you noticed that? It doesn't attach. It doesn't all attach.
Yeah.
So that symbol that like, it looks kind of like the number 1, it goes down.
Yeah.
That's actually a Hebrew symbol that translates to the number 6.
Okay.
So it's 666.
I mean, a lot of people are going to say it's just a drink, but I think things are actually done deliberately. Like, it just, the drink's called Monster, Release the Beast, 666 written on the front, and it's actually got, I didn't know this, but it's actually got a cross on the back of the can, and when you drink, it goes upside down, doesn't it? I definitely don't think that's done by mistake.
For some mysterious reason, in the past few months, there's been loads of videos popping up all over social media of people buying what looks like fake food. It all started just a couple of weeks ago in the United States when several people started noticing that there was something off about the watermelon that they were buying on the supermarkets.
So I got this watermelon up, and I like to rinse my watermelon before I cut it, and it's like pinning. Does anybody have problems with their watermelon like this? Oh my god. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It sounds like the goat is dying.
There are dozens of videos where people buy watermelon from the supermarket and it looks strange. Sometimes it looks like plastic. Sometimes it makes these weird noises.
Right, sorry to pause it, but that kid said it sounded like a goat dying. Well, parents, if you're watching this, you might want to check his hard drive, because, yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. We might have a Dexter 2.0 going.
Okay, y'all, I threw this watermelon out over a week ago. It smelled really good. Cut it open, and it was like plastic. Tasting it was absolutely horrible. Didn't really know what to do with it, so I threw it outside. This is a week later. It looks like mud.
It was pretty obvious that there was something off about the watermelon and a lot of people were noticing it. But here's the thing, it wasn't just the watermelons. People were also noticing the same thing happening with avocados, blueberries, bananas, and the list goes on.
We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break. And when it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight and doughy. It looks very, very fake and Play-Doh.
In this next video, Ari Osborne explains how she bought blueberries in the supermarket. When she gave it to her kid, she noticed that one of them looked like it was made out of rubber. Check this out.
It's left in her little bowl, and I put it down the drain for the garbage disposal. And I push the button, you know, it's doing its thing, but there's a clanking, and it sounds like something's stuck. So I go in the drain, and there's a blueberry that's not breaking apart. It's not. I pick it up, and why is there a rubber blueberry in my toddler's snack?
She cut it in half and it actually looks as if it's made out of silicone or something like that. Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger. In this next video, a woman tests out the food in the supermarket using a magnet, and this is what happens.
Look at this. Put a magnet that I got from here. It's the great chicken. Let's try for.
Thing is, if you throw food on the ground and even the ants are crawling up to it and going, "Nah, we're not having this one, boys," then that's pretty concerning, mate. If you've got, you know, Bugs Life 3 turning their heads going the other way, then I should do the same. And think about it, if animals aren't going to eat it, they're living life on survival mode, aren't they? They can't just go and whack up an omelette. They eat whatever they can get. And if they ain't going to eat it, either am I. Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. That was great. And I love doing these videos. Thank you all for supporting me. But before you go, I just want to say, I hope you all have the bravery to be yourself. And if you don't know yourself, then spend time alone and get to know yourself, because we are all enslaved by our fear. Fear enslaves us, and we don't even know that. You know, I'm still trying to get past my fears, but a lot of us fear to get to know ourselves. You know, I'm talking about the good and the bad of ourselves, to try and overcome that, to have the braveness to forgive. You know, to persevere in times of doubt. You know, I really encourage all of you to try and get to know yourself and to be alone, because we are who we are when we're alone. And this is what scares me about myself. When I'm truly alone, I do feel like very different about myself. And I used to run from that sometimes. I used to run out and try and be away from people, or try and do things to try and distract myself from myself. Does that make sense? And until I sat there and really tried to dig myself apart and be like, why do I feel like this? That's when progress happens. Progress comes from suffering, I think, in my opinion. No person that is great hasn't suffered. You know, the best people I know in my life are the people that have suffered and didn't blame anyone else because of it. They mastered it and were accountable for it and adapted and grew. You know, so I really feel like suffering molds us. Because how can anyone know themselves without suffering? And suffering is a really interesting conversation. And suffering for everyone is different. Like the things I suffer from might not be what you suffer with, but we're all suffering, all of us, in our own ways. And I really feel like the world doesn't acknowledge that. And it's a really deep question, isn't it? But I hope all of you can really let go of what you're fearful of, or forgive those who you need to forgive. Because, you know, forgiveness isn't weakness. Forgiveness is freedom. And forgiveness doesn't establish a relationship. It establishes a relationship with yourself and the person you're supposed to be. Because forgiveness is like sticking a hook in your back. It holds you back. And I've experienced this. So I hope you can do the same. And if you really feel like that's something you can't do by yourself, then get God on your side. Alright? And I really think that's something we should do, because it will completely change the way you see people in the world. You know, if you can't change the world, you can change the way you feel. That's the power you have as a person, a human being. You can change the way you feel, but you can't change people or the world. So I hope that helps. And I wish the best for all of you watching this video, for all of you. And I hope that these videos can help bring you some joy, because look, I just want to make an honest living in a dark world. and to do this and to, you know, make people laugh and to bring people away from darkness, great. That's all I want to do, honestly. And it doesn't matter where I go in life on this mountain that I'm on. I don't care how high or how low it is. I'll always be me. And I'll always try to be me. Thank you all for watching. I hope that helps. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Have a great evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. You guys are awesome. I'm so thankful for all of you. I don't deserve it. And just thank you for showing up for me every day and supporting me. I'm still in shock. Hasn't sunk in at all. None of this has sunk in yet. But thank you so much. And I'll see you all again on Monday. I'll see you then.